Hello and hey, mess around with Baldur's Gate 3, so you want to play a cleric. Well, did you really want to play one, or did your friends bully you into being the healer? I saw those Larian player number charts. I won't rat you out. Let's dive in. Clerics are conduits for divine magic, the power of the gods. Chosen for a higher calling, their devotion is what grants them their power. They are extremely versatile, with so many domains of focus. Supporting their allies is the foremost thought, but some can rain magic upon their foes, others deftly deliver felling blows with martial weapons, and still more, summon a horde of creatures to fight by their side. As noted in my little intro, they were by far the least picked class in the player stats that Larian released, though with Sharp being the most romanced character, parties do have their share of clerics. So whether you were saving the class for a build down the line, or looking for a way to build your beloved, I've got you covered. This build will focus on support, healing, and buffing. It will be extremely hard to be knocked out of concentration while empowering your strongest party members to deliver at full capacity. Oh, and occasionally turning critical hits on your party into outright misses. Here we go. If playing the build from level 1, I will suggest first 6 levels of Cleric, Light Cleric to be specific. The Cleric spell list is just banger after banger, and warding flare stopping attacks from hitting your friends is a great way to survive these early to mid-game encounters. To maintain concentration on our buffing spells later, we will eventually respec our first level to be Sorcerer. If I don't mention this now, people will likely be on me in the comments, so just getting a little bit ahead of that. Don't be afraid to ask questions or make suggestions if you want down there either. I just have a tendency to bury important details later into videos where people have skipped past and then comment that I missed something that I did actually cover, just not as urgently as they would have liked. If you're civil, it's fair play. Getting back to the build, for our purposes, I'll assume we're respecing from a later level and just get all the character levels in a multi-class neatly in a row. Again, not the leveling order from scratch. Which means, level 1, Sorcerer. We get our Sorceress origin, and it doesn't really matter which one we pick. Many will like Storm Sorcerer's bonus action flight when casting spells. I think I prefer having the additional hit points of Draconic. While wild magic exists if you want to fireball friendly NPCs at the worst possible time. The choice is yours. Our attributes will be as follows: 12 strength, 14 dex, 16 con, 8 int, 16 wisdom, and 8 charisma. As always, massage some of the scores to fit your preferences. We want the highest possible wisdom as it is our spellcasting modifier for our cleric spells, 16 con because we need to keep our concentration checks for our team, and having more hit points means less times worrying about how you're going to get your healer back upright if things go horribly wrong. Everything else is choice of the taster. I like strength for jumping and carrying capacity. Don't mind going a little later in initiative because we've probably buffed a little pre-fight and want to see how the battle is starting to shake out before committing to any more spells. Then we don't have any real use for int or charisma except their saves. This is a final reminder that I don't actually expect you to start level 1 with a new character as Sorcerer. 6 levels of Cleric is that play. With that dumb charisma, we want spells from Sorcerer that don't rely on attack rolls or spell saves. Utility spells like Featherfall or strong defensive options for us like Shield. Stick to those and you'll be golden. Sorcerer 2, we get meta magic. Twin spell is an absolute given. Take it. I mean it. Take it. And for the other, it's your choice. Can make solid arguments for each. I'll snag careful spell because there will be times we want to put fireballs or glyphs of warding where our friendlies are standing and don't want to annihilate them too, just because of our positioning mistake. At level 3, second level spells, I like Misty Step. Also get one more meta magic. You know what I'm going to say. Quicken spell. It's just too good. We're all contractually obligated to take it. Hands are tied. Apologies. Sorcerer 4, we get an ability score improvement. We'll use it to boost our wisdom. Sorcerer 5, third level spells, grab haste. An alternative to this is to take a level of wizard and learn it through scrolls. Can do it earlier in the character's progression too, and if you're willing to have some intelligence or wear a specific headband, you could leverage more than just a single spell for this level. However, 3 levels of Sorcerer make it easy to just grab one more for the ASI and then another one for haste, since that's the main thing we'd want from a 1 level dip to wizard anyhow, though completely up to you as I keep saying. Quote-unquote character level 6, we'll switch to Cleric, Light Domain to be specific, get our self-warding flare, letting us impose disadvantage on attacks that would hit us by using our reaction. Beautiful thing about Cleric 2 is that they have access to every spell on their list at any time, so I don't have to tell you to look out for anything specific on the way through. I will be sure to go over the spellbook later on though, just to give you a rough idea. Cleric 2, we get Radiance of the Dawn, a nice little AoE damage spell that enemies still take half damage on a save. This ability does not count for taking us out of Sanctuary either. That's an important note. Cleric 3, we get second level spells. Oh boy. Cleric 4, we get our last feat. Going to use it to boost wisdom again, get those spell DCs up. Boosting con is an option to better keep our concentration, but between proficiency and the many armors that grant advantage to the save, go ahead and add to that we don't really take that many big hits to even push the DC above the minimum of 10. I don't think it's strictly necessary. Cleric 5, we get third level spells and Fireball from our domain. Glyph of Warding is a good shout here, as it will let you deal damage or inflict sleep or knockback again without breaking Sanctuary. Cleric 6, we can finally use our Warding Flare on allies, forcing disadvantage on attacks that would hit them. Did somebody finally manage to roll high enough against your 26 AC Paladin? Prove it. Roll it again. A crit against your big damage dealer? Probably not. Roll again. It's a super strong feature that will keep the damage from even accruing on your allies, especially if they have any 20 or higher ACs. This feature is definitely worth it to go this deep into Cleric for. Just make sure to select to ask for your opportunity attacks in the reaction menu. Don't want to waste your reaction missing a target you weren't going to do significant damage to anyway and then not be able to protect your party. And for the final character level, before patch 1, we would have gone Paladin, because Lay on Hands was scaling with character level and now it is not. Big sad for the former best healing dip in the game. I suppose we will have to go Cleric 7, or go grab that single level of Wizard. Cleric has nice 4th level spells, though not enough to make up for losing the Paladin healing. The patch just dropped, so I would also consider backing out of this list to maybe go something like Cleric 9, Sorcerer 2, Wizard 1, but the official recommendation, I'll stick with Cleric 7. So Cleric 7, Sorcerer 5. Because this isn't a super specifically focused concept, I'll crack open my spellbook like I said and show you which cleric spells I like to have. This is obviously completely subjective, just like the entire rest of the build. Use what you like if you don't agree with the choice I make. Level 1 spells I like are Healing Word, Cure Wounds, Sanctuary as I've said, Bless, Create or Destroy Water if the wet condition is good for our party, Command, and Guiding Bolt. It's almost a whole list. Level 2 I like Spiritual Weapon, Aid, Hold Person, Lesser Restoration. Level 3 I like Glyph of Warding, Mass Healing Word, Revivify, Spirit Guardians, Animate Dead if you want to work it in and use up those higher level spell slots to summon. Level 4 I like literally all of them. Some of these fight for your concentration slot, others will absolutely bring you out of Sanctuary. However, certain scenarios require specific solutions. The whole list of spells is really good. This is just a loose pointing out the ones I find myself using the most. Use whatever you deem fit, you really can't go wrong. And we'll put our customary example combat on here, showing some pre-buffing as that is this character's job. Twinned Haste is so good that once you have it, you'll pretty much be unable to use your concentration slot for anything else. Legitimately unfortunate, as nearly every other single spell you'd like to be using is a concentration spell. And you know what? It's still worth it to have the Twinned Haste. The entire extra actions for 2 characters for 10 turns is ridiculous. The double-edged sword part of Haste is if you do lose concentration, both targets are sitting ducks, unable to act for a turn, a huge negative swing in the battle. And all the more reason for you to sit untargetable behind Sanctuary. Can even bring an ally into that with you, just power of twinning support spells, baby. In my Summoner video, I touted the Cleric as an amazing choice, especially a Cleric 11 Wizard 1, to be able to get nearly every single option in the game. Summons are solid uses of the higher level slots that we sort of struggle to find a proper use for in this build. Get the luxury of upcasting any spells we want, but you kind of feel that we don't have any spells higher than 3rd or 4th levels in some encounters. Still, for pure effectiveness, this mix is something I stand behind. Can tweak the levels to give you more summons or more damage, but for the support role, I love this mix. If you have any comments or questions, throw them in the appropriate section, but I hope to catch you in the next one. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Be safe, guys.